Yes, what's going on? Oh, shit. Just broke my boom arm. It's okay. What's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you. Happy Saturday, everyone. We're here to discuss the latest mornings and afternoons, lunchtime news in regards to Manchester United and cover the latest goings on at the football club. Obviously, plenty of movement going on, plenty of stuff to get into, so we're going to discuss it today. Welcome in to everybody in the live chat. How you doing? Thank you very much for joining us. Let's see who's in here at the start of the show here. We have got Daz Salford. What's happening? Malps lad. Aaron, thank you so much for putting the link there to the X. If you want to give us a repost on X, please do. There's the link right there. It's pinned to the top of the live chat. Big up Aaron lad. Daz Salford, get in there, you legend. William Reedy, Gary Mathers, Sanjay. How you doing, John Lai? It's going all right, mate. And yourself? Not been up too long, mate. Samaconda, William G. Wolf, you legend. What's going on, my son? Asmit, Dublin Games, William, yes, everybody who's in here, big ups to the legends in the chat. Do us a favour, smash that like button on it, give us a massive thumbs up, share us around, and get yourself subscribed if you're new and involved in the live chat. We're going to have a Q&A at the end of the show, but as always, we'll dip in and out, so have your say throughout. Get involved. Plenty to discuss, guys. Obviously, we're waiting for the news of Bryan Mbuemo to Manchester United being agreed between the two clubs. Brentford reportedly, in discussions with Manchester United just to try and squeeze a little bit of extra cash out of us. We know that United have already tabled two offers, the first one being 45 million plus 10 in add-ons, and the second being around about just over 60 million pounds. It seems that they're taking their time to accept this one. It's a little bit frustrating, obviously, because we were hoping we'd have a little bit more news by now. But don't worry, folks. Don't worry, folks, because it is being worked on. It should be agreed very, very soon, and it's getting closer. It's absolutely getting closer. These two clubs have obviously been racked in negotiations for a good few days now. There is the sense that this deal is going to get done before the end of this sort of mini transfer window. Obviously, we have that little break for the Club World Cup, and then the transfer window reopens. So it's expected the Mbuemo deal is going to be done in the next couple of days before that mini deadline. So do not fear, my friends. This is going to be getting done reasonably soon. We know that Bryan Mbeumo has already agreed those personal terms, with Manchester United, so there's no issue there. He's just waiting for the clubs to reach that agreement, which should be imminent, guys. Yes, in the next couple of hours, in the next day, whatever it may be, there should be an agreement in place. Let's have a look at the latest day's updates, though. This is from Marco Alcaraz just a short while before we went live. Man United remain in advanced discussions over Bryan Mbuemo. Productive talks took place on Friday evening, with the club confident they're edging closer to matching Brentford's valuation, feeling as that agreement is not far away from being reached. So just maybe, as we've said, that Brentford perhaps trying to squeeze just a little bit of extra cash out of Manchester United. Perhaps there's some sort of issues with the actual additional bonuses and fees and future installments, that sort of thing. Obviously, they've got to work that out. So we don't know the exact structure of any deal right now in regards to how much is up front, how much is spread over a couple of seasons. We know that the Matheus Cunha deal is spread over a couple of seasons. But at the moment, it's looking like Brentford want a significant chunk up front and then a nice amount of additional add-ons as well to take it up to well over 60 million. It's a little bit annoying that it's not been announced this morning, but as I say, I'm pretty patient about it. I think this is going to be done the next day or two. And, like we said, there's an agreement there for Bryan Mbuemo in regards to his own situation with United. Both clubs are working to get the deal done. Manchester United are accelerating it for Fabrizio yesterday. So no dramas, really. £200,000 a week reported salary. In that sort of a region. Hopefully it'll be a bit less than that. Like we said, it would be nice if his salary structure was based on some performance bonuses such as goals. That would be nice. I think we should be trying to get towards that at Manchester United rather than just paying players flat rate hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. It would be nice to give them slightly lower basics and then give them incentives, as in if you score an assist and play well, whatever, man of the match, who knows, clean sheets if you're a goalie, etc. That should be more of an importance for United, because that way you're going to get players who surely have the potential to earn really well if they're playing really well. Now, I know that's not how generally things work at the moment. Unfortunately, in football, players are scum, and they they like to get so much money, don't they? And so much too soon. But in my humble opinion, it's not going to be too much of a salary. Thank you so much there, Sharon Atkinson. Appreciate you, Shazza. Let's go. She says, respect Piggy and Legends, loving these updates. Yeah, so the plan is to try and do as many of these over the summer as possible. We're going to be doing lunchtime lives every single day, such as roundabout now, to give you the latest updates. Obviously, we've got some news to discuss here as well, but nothing breaking as of right now in regards to potential agreements, but that could happen live during the show. And then we're always going to do an evening show around about sort of 10 p.m. UK time as well. So join us for the evening show as well, guys. And today we've got a triple header because we're doing a cheeky little England watch along as well. We're facing the mighty Andorra, and we're doing a watch along on the channel. 5 p.m. kickoff that game is, so you can join us for that one as well if you want. But if you're just into the United news, don't worry, we've got you covered over the summer period. We'll let you know exactly what's going on, and we'll be discussing it all in the live chat. Get in there. Thank you so much for that, Sharon, though. Appreciate that. So, yeah, we're in discussions, guys. Advanced discussions. It shouldn't be too long before there's a deal done here between Manchester United and Brentford. I think it's going to be very close to what the Matheus Cunha transfer figure was. Seems like they do want the similar amount of money for what we paid to Wolves. Makes sense, really. Same sort of players, same sort of age, same sort of situation. What I mean by same sort of players is same sort of impact in their teams, in similar teams, similar sorts of stats in terms of being very effective, putting up good goal numbers, assists, etc. So these guys are, very similar in that sense, value-wise. So that's what Brentford want, really. It probably will. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if it's exactly the same overall figure in the end as the Cunha deal. So I'm just going to say 62.5 million, guys. Get your thoughts and opinions in. What do you think the final total combined figure will be that Manchester United end up paying Matheus Cunha? I do think it's, for Mbeumo, I think it's going to be exactly the same as the Matheus Cunha deal in the end. And fair play to Brentford. So I think 62.5 million overall. That could be with some, obviously, installments. That could be with additional bonuses and things like that. But a total combined, that's what I'm going for. By the way, thank you there, Keith Barnwell, for subscribing to the channel. Nice one, Keith. Yes, if you're new, then you can hit the subscribe button down below. Also, hit the thumbs up button. We're nearly at 100 likes. Every little like helps the stream out, helps boost us up there, all that shite. So give us a big thumbs up, you legends. Nice one. I'm just waking up here today, guys. I'm pretty tired. I had a bit of a ropey night's sleep, but we're on it. We're getting on it. Just had a big cup of coffee. Stephen Shipman, how you doing, you hero? Gyokeres next. Okay, let's just, we're favourites to sign Gyokeres. Yes, let's just talk about Gyokeres very quickly. Then we'll give you the latest on Gyokeres, and then obviously we'll cover the rest of the little bits of news we've got and get into the live chat for a discussion. But Gyokeres is obviously Manchester United's priority in terms of striker, it seems, because of the Amorim connection, because of the fact that he's probably about the best striker that we could even possibly tempt to join Manchester United right now. His goal record's ridiculous, etc. And the reports are that at the moment he is assessing his options. So it's not UCL football or nothing for Viktor Gyokeres. He's still assessing all of his options as per Fabrizio Romano. Man United have a real opportunity to move for him. Still their number one target. Would need to sell minimum 2 players to proceed with the move. That's absolutely spot on, isn't it? We've spent a lot of money on Cunha and Mbuemo here, and we're going to. So got to sell a couple of players first, really. So don't expect Gyokeres to get done in this little mini transfer window before the 10th of June. No, that's going to get done later on, isn't it, if it ever does get done. But in regards to where United's at with the actual deal and Gyokeres, I mean, obviously there's no concrete talks or anything like that going on between the two clubs. But there are reports coming out, this is via Court Offside, that Manchester United are now in pole position to sign Viktor Gyokeres. £60 million could get the deal done, and United have made the funds available as Arsenal focus on Benjamin Sesko. So if you believe this report, United don't need to sell anyone in order to bring in Viktor Gyokeres. It says here that the United have made the funds available. Well, maybe they have. Maybe they have, because if you think about it, we are going to sell players this summer. We've not got loads of teams queuing up to sign our rejects, to be fair. That's clear. But there are some teams interested in the likes of Anthony, Højlund, whoever. So we should be able to sell players just because we maybe have the opportunity to sign this guy right now or very soon. We should be working on this first. We shouldn't be waiting to get any players sold. That's just a lack of ambition and guff from the football club. It's blatant we'll be able to sell players no matter how long it takes this summer. Teams will want our players. You know that Eric Ten Hag melter is going to want a cheeky bit of Anthony action, or maybe even Garnacho action, or Rashford action, or Onana action. You never know. He loves the action. So there's every possibility we're going to get some players gone reasonably soon. It doesn't really matter if we spend the money first, if Gyokeres is available. You know what I mean? We just got to pounce like a cobra on this guy right now and get the deal done very, very soon. So that's what I'm thinking. And this report says that. Obviously, Arsenal turning their attentions to Benjamin Sesko. So that kind of leaves the path clear for Man United right now if we act swiftly. And if we do act swiftly, then, well, we probably can get the deal done. But as I say, reports are he's assessing his options. If you were him, it makes sense to do that. There's no rushes there this summer. There's probably going to be a fair few teams at the top in terms of European super giants or whatever that would be interested in him, just simply due to his goal record and his age and what he can bring to the side for many years. So for that reason, yeah, it's still a big question mark, but maybe we are just at the moment the team that's most likely to get him in, because it seems like we're the ones that are heavily linked to him. There's not really any other teams that are properly heavily linked to him. There is some shouts from the likes of Newcastle or, you know, teams in Spain, whatever. But ultimately, I think United is in the driving seat right now. If we acted quickly, if we moved very quickly, if we convinced him to come, what a signing that would be. But it does seem like maybe the funds are available right now for Manchester United to go and add Gyokeres to our ranks anyway without having to sell players, because they know that they're going to sell players later. If you actually look at the PSR, Manchester United's like 5th in the table, in the 5th best position right now or something in terms of the English clubs for PSR. So we're not doing too badly in that regard. We've just got to make sure that obviously we do shift on players this summer. So Anthony Dos Santos can go to Betis or Leverkusen or something like that. Gashmus Boyland, he can go and play for Brentford Rejects. You know, he can go and play alongside Bruno Di Gradi for Brentford Rejects. If not, then obviously a move to Italy might make a little bit of sense, wouldn't it? Yes, nice. And then there's a few others as well, guys. Garnacho could certainly raise some capital, raise some funds. Certainly could get maybe close to 50 million quid for Alejandro Garnacho, which basically covers the Gyokeres deal, most of it. So yeah, we're not worried, guys. I'm not worried about us being able to sell players. I'm worried about us being able to sell a few players. Like, for instance, it wouldn't surprise me if Rashford became an issue because of the wages. It wouldn't surprise me if Sancho didn't go anywhere and had to be loaned out to, you know, Kettering Town. It wouldn't surprise me if we were unable to sell Andre Onana, because let's face it, he has a hand made of flubber. But the other players I've just mentioned, I'm very confident we'll be able to move on. Garnacho, Anthony, Højlund. You know, so there is definitely some money there to recoup there from Manchester United player sales to be able to sign Gyokeres as well. So that's the latest really on Gyokeres. I think that's positive stuff, guys. It doesn't really suggest we've had any movement. There isn't any movement. Maybe there's discussions taking place behind the scenes. Reports from Caught Offside and some outlets suggesting that, you know, there's funds available right now. So that's good. What I will do now is I will ask you this question, guys. So we're not just working on him. There's obviously a goalkeeper issue. Onana needs to be replaced. Let's talk about this for a second. So this is just something I saw earlier. Obviously, it's very speculative at the moment, but Manchester United reportedly closing on 2 signings for a combined 100 million euros. That would be Emi Martinez and Viktor Gyokeres. Closing in, I don't think this is obviously just guff. But, you know, in terms of the 4 players listed here, if that was our transfer window, Matheus Cunha, we know that's done. Bryan Mbuemo is about to be done. It's getting very close. We're waiting for the latest reports and updates. Viktor Gyokeres, big question mark. Let's be fair. Could go to somewhere else, couldn't he? But it's still a possibility. Emi Martinez, or a good goalkeeper, but let's just say Emi Martinez right now, linked to Manchester United, reportedly willing to leave Villa this summer. 25 to 30 million pounds, not a crazy amount of money we're talking about either. So those 4 players, if we only got those 4 players, how would you rate the transfer window out of 10? Let's hear it in the live chat. If we only got those 4 players, right? So honestly, and I'm not just being fluffy here and super optimistic, honestly, it's a 9 out of 10. I think it would be a 9 out of 10 because you've solved a lot of the key problems in the team, obviously. Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo bring a lot of goals with them and a lot of creativity in those number 10 roles. They are seasoned players in the sense that they're both 25 or 25, 26. They are sort of in their primes, Premier League proven, Premier League experience. Great additions to the team, can really take the mantle hopefully up there for us and do some good stuff. Viktor Gyokeres, is one of the hottest properties in European football right now in terms of goal scorers. He's just a beast. He scores shitloads of goals. He's a physical specimen. You know, he's going to be a danger for whichever team he plays for. Like we've said, even if he only gets half the goals for Manchester United that he got for Sporting, then we'd have a great player on our hands. And then Emi Martinez, in theory, should solve the goalkeeper issues. You know, the flubber hand in goal should solve the issues. Maybe I'm being a bit generous with 9, but certainly high numbers up there. Maybe it would be a 9 if we got like a Dumfries as well or something. If we got Denzel Dumfries as well, then it would be a 9, I suppose. And if we got Denzel Dumfries and, I don't know, somebody else awesome, then it would be a 10. So maybe I'm being a little bit generous. Let's give it an 8. Let's give it an 8. Let's give it an 8 at the moment. If we did sign another player other than those 4 players as well, like a Denzel Dumfries in an ideal world, then it would become a ridiculous window. But right now, we do need to address these issues. These are the 4 sort of most important signings for us to try and make here. That's what our focus is going to be, clearly. If you're working down the list, maybe it's going to go something like this. Obviously, Cunha's in, and Mbeumo imminent. Gyokeres, discussions potentially going to be taking place very soon between Manchester United and Sporting. And then Emi Martinez, we could go in for a cheeky little punt there. Let's see what you guys are saying here. How you doing, Manny Slewflacky, you legend, by the way? Bobby says 8.5. Brandon's going 8.5. Decent window, solid 8. Lito says 4 out of 10. Bit harsh there, Lito. Why so bad? Why so bad? Are you talking about improving the 2 most important positions, goalkeeper and striker for United, with the issues there apparent? And you're saying only a 4 out of 10? Come on, mate. Who would we have to sign in order to make it a 10 out of 10 for you, lad? Mohammed, Imad, Cristiano, Bruce Lee, Messi? You know what? 10 says Daz. 9.5 says Stedders. Be an excellent window, says Soliloquy. Yep. Nut says 6 out of 9. Love that, Canute, lad. You don't do ifs, says Manny Sufaki. Okay. Yes, Tommy Boyle. We keep forgetting him, don't we, lad? We keep forgetting him. Including Diego Leon. 9 out of 10. How you doing today, Tommy? Yes, happy Saturday, mate. Great shout. Would be a very positive window to address lots of the issues. 8.5. We need a powerful midfielder. Josh says Emi Martinez can be a melter, but Onana is a melter every week. Emi Martinez is a little eccentric, isn't he? Yeah, he's got that. I mean, look at him getting sent off in that game against us. He's got that in him. He's a bit of a wind-up merchant. You wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up a couple of cards and also make some crazy errors in a season. But like we said, Andre does it almost every week. So he's definitely a better option than Andre Onana. So it stops maybe as many goals leaking at the back. Yeah, quality over quantity, Prem proven, top players, absolutely 9, says John Boy Cat. 9 out of 10, we need a midfielder, I think. Yep, fair play. Well, Bruno's going to be playing a bit deeper for us, seeing as we signed these number 10s. So remember that as well. You was going to put 9 out of 10, but you said it before. I could type it. Nice one. Do you think we'll get Gyokeres and Mbeumo? I definitely think we'll get Mbeumo. Definitely. But Gyokeres, honestly, I'm a little bit concerned about, mate. Let's just be real. Yes, we've got Amorim here, and that is nice. That's nice. But we don't have the Champions League football, mate. That's an issue. We finished 15th. I mean, certainly if you look at what Man United's doing in the transfer window and some of the players we've got in the squad, you know, we have got some very good players in the squad, some. But most of them, let's face it, are not top tier. Most of them wouldn't get into Barca, Real's teams, Liverpool, whoever. They just wouldn't, most of them. A few of them would, but most of them would not. So we clearly don't have a great squad. But if we have a really good positive window, so far we're showing ambitions. You know, we've got Mbuemo just to get over the line. Cunha's already done. We're working on reportedly a couple of other things. So there's ambition being shown there by the football club. If you're a player thinking, especially if you've had that working relationship with Amorim in a system that you know, or that you would hope that the team would be able to play in the future, then it does increase the likelihood that you would want to go. So because of that Amorim factor, I feel like we've got a chance of getting him. But if it wasn't for Amorim, if somebody else was just the coach of Manchester United, there would be absolutely no way in hell that Gyokeres would come right now, I don't think, for anything less than a ridiculous amount of money. And you don't want to pay players crazy money just to come to a team that they would rather not play for if there was a better offer on the table from somewhere else. So, you know, I do feel like maybe if one of the top European giants comes in for him, we'll be feeling some tears rolling down our cheeks. If we can't get this deal done. But I'm trying to remain positive, lad. I'm trying to remain positive, but my gut feeling on Gyokeres right now is actually no. My gut feeling is no. You know, I don't know. I mean, players like that, surely they want to be playing in the Champions League. He's already been playing in the Champions League with Sporting. He's quite happy in Lisbon. You've seen some of the comments recently. You know, he said that he's happy in Lisbon and he likes the lifestyle and his family, friends, all that guff are there. So why the hell not? Why the hell would he not stay? Plus, yes, if there's an offer from another big club comes in, then he might have his head turned. So I'm not really so sure, boss. Yeah, same here, Joseph. We're just waiting on that, really. A cheeky little here we go from Fab or a done deal there from David Ornstein. That's what we're looking for here, really. Liverpool and Man City would aim high. United fan standards are in the gutter. I mean, you're talking about a World Cup winner, Golden Glove merchant here. It's not like he's some absolute bottle job there. Come on. Is Martinez wanting to leave Villa? Why would he leave? Reports are he wants to leave. Yeah, so all summer long, so far anyway, there's been reports coming out saying that he wants to leave. I don't know the reasons why he wants to leave. Maybe because Villa's just a gash club. You know, I'm joking. But he seems out of sorts. Who knows? Maybe he'll end up staying. But in regards to whether or not Man United could get him, that's also a question mark. It's like, would he come to United for anything less than a huge amount of money? There's other options probably on the table for him. So it does concern me. Yeah. Hey, what's going on there, superstar? United aren't playing football, all is good. I'm very positive with our initial moves. Me too. Positive window looking like it's going to be. And as you say, there hasn't been any United games to really put a dampener on things for us. So things are looking a bit positive right now. Thanks for that. By the way, we've got 300 legends in here. Thank you, Dembo, for subscribing. Appreciate you, Dembo. If you're new, like Dembo, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on here for the whole transfer window, covering all the latest updates and news as and when it drops, etc. So we'll be on tonight at 10 p.m. as a minimum, but if there's anything breaking big before then, we'll get on with an update. You'll probably end up with Danny Ings, says Cavs. All right then, mate. Nice one. 250 grand a week from Mbuemo. Yeah, that's it. That's what it's going to come down to, Bottom Bliss, isn't it? No, sorry, not Bottom Bliss. Superstar, he says, happy in Lisbon, earning peanuts. That's just talk. Well, compared to what he would earn at United, it's obviously a lot less. But fair enough, yeah, happy. Well, you know, he is happy in Lisbon. He's been talking about the lifestyle and stuff like that. But like you say, it is just talk, isn't it? If he ends up staying, it's obviously, it reaffirms his status there with the sporting fans. But what's he going to say? Of course, he's still a sporting player. What's he going to say? I hate it here. It's a shithole. You know, he's not going to say that, is he? So you are right in one respect, but from what we've heard, it does seem like he's happy there. But again, how are you going to turn down the move to a massive football club if one comes knocking? Obviously, Manchester United haven't done it yet, and we are struggling right now, but we're still a huge football club. Gyokeres is coming. Love that, Daz Sweets. You love your signing. Spurs are useless, says Hansi. Yeah, I'm still reeling a little bit from that whole Big Ange sacking, lad. I mean, not that I really give a shit. Maybe Thomas Frank will do better for you. You can't deny 17th place in the league. It's just a disgrace. Didn't they lose 22 games in the Premier League? For Spurs, that is a disgrace, even with some injury issues. But they did have injury issues. And Big Ange won them their first trophy in freaking 17 years. And the first European trophy since 1982 or whatever it was. And he qualified them for Champions League and they got a trophy. I mean, what the hell is the matter with Spuds and Daniel Levy? I guess they just thought the time was right, but I think it's a bit of a silly thing to do because he's just done some great things for them, and he probably, let's face it, without these same injury issues, would have done a lot better. Where did they finish the season before under Ange? Wasn't it like 5th? I think they finished 5th the season before. That's not awful. And then, okay, they had massive injury issues and he shat the bed, but they ultimately won a trophy and got UCL, so I am surprised about that whole situation, mate, to be fair. But whatever. Big Ange is gone. And it looks like Thomas Frank is being lined up for them. Probably would be a good appointment. Maybe he would kick the bomb. I mean, you can't deny that league form was a joke. Yep, Manny Souflaki comments, no European football is going to be a test for us. Less games played, less injury prone. We should make top 4. Well, if we sign well, then we've got a chance. You know, we'd have to be super ambitious and start the season really well. But if we sign well, like if we were to get those players we mentioned in there, all of those great signings, Matheus Cunha and Mbuemo and Gyokeres and a goalkeeper and maybe even a cheeky extra Denzel Dumfries or something like that, or a central midfielder extra, whatever, then we could start to think that we can actually do something this season, yeah. And if you start well with a few wins, then yes, you will be thinking that. But if we, like you say, we have to obviously navigate those games well. We should be able to do it easier. There should be less strain on the squad. There should be less injuries because we've got less games to play. And the players should be more fit and available. So you should be able to manage it a little bit better. There won't be as much strain on the squad. So there is an expectation we'll do better, definitely because of that. And we can focus on the domestic cups as well. But to be fair, 4th place is still a massive ask for this shite system. Not system, but this shite setup as it is right now. Let's be real, the whole team's having a stinker. If you just look at our form since Amorim came in, it's like Ipswich Town form or something. It's pretty gashtastic. You've got to be honest, guys, and say that things are going to massively have to change. I think things will change with Amorim having a clear out and also getting these few great players in that we can get. And if we do get these few great players in, you know, there's a lot of goals up there. It's because of FFP. Villa want to sell players. I think the biggest they are willing to sell is Martinez. Well, be a good addition for us, I think. Villa are in trouble. Road to 100k. Yes, mate, we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We're actually on, let's have a look now. We're on 90,285 subscribers. Do us a favour if you're here. Smash the subscribe. If we get 15 more during this show, we'll be on 90,300 subscribers. Give us a cheeky little subscribe and a thumbs up. Thank you, Kay and Joey. Share us on X as well. We're going to shout you all out in a little bit. Mbeumo would get 180k max. Yeah, nice one. Sounds about right to me, Toes. Saints seems about right. Any more than that's a bit crazy, isn't it? Wouldn't again be surprised if Manchester United paid 250,000 to him. I would not be surprised because we are gash when it comes to player wage structures, definitely. 40k a week equals peanuts. Are we going to get to 100k before GTA 6, before the next silver? May, I don't know about before GTA 6, but actually that's coming out May 2026, isn't it? So maybe, mate, maybe. I'd like to think we could hit 100,000 this next season sometime. One-way ticket to the nut house if you think Mbeumo is going to be on 250k a week. It's 175 to 200k. Yeah, sounds about right, mate. I'd say even slightly less is arguable, you know, just based on what he was on at Brentford. Like, surely you could tempt him with 160, 150k a week. But I agree, maybe some performance-related bonuses, etc., to take it up to that, but shouldn't be any more than that. Paying more than that's crazy. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised because United were talking about a club that paid Alexis Sanchez £500,000 a week. But things have changed since then, hopefully. Yeah, you take 40k a week kicking a ball around. You what, Tom Porter? Did you get your vape juice, mate? What? But you can't deny a trophy. You suspect Andrew will manage a club in Greece. Greek football is rising again. I think maybe Big Ange will stay in English football. I can see there being a club that might be interested in him, like one of those lower Prem sides. You know, not necessarily a well-established Premier League side because he just finished 17th, but somebody might look at him and go, oh, you know, he's a big personality. He's done really good things in different clubs that he's been at. This season was a massively gash season in the league, but they still won a trophy. His actual record at certain teams, you know, over in Scotland, wherever, you know, he's done well. He's done well. So I think there could be a team giving him a chance. What about Brentford? You know, if Brentford appoint Thomas Frank as Tottenham's manager, if Tottenham appoint Thomas Frank as their manager and Brentford have an opportunity there to go and get Andrew is available, I could see that happening. Maybe they go for him. Maybe they try and give him a chance. Maybe he might stay at a smaller club in England. I don't know. Maybe he'll have a big break, though. Yeah, Ange is gone. You don't know, man. I think he needed to have another year. I agree, you know, superstar. They should have given him another chance. I think it's very harsh. Get sacked for winning a trophy, not respecting Spurs' tradition. Exactly. How dare you win a trophy? How dare you win a trophy and go against everything we do usually? How dare you, Big Ange? Crazy, isn't it? Nice one, Tom Porter. See you there. Big Ange got sacked from Septic after they won the league up there. Mental, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Well, I guess there's a reason for it. Good afternoon, Herb. How you doing, you legend? Welcome in. Remember when Fergie used to travel to see players personally, convince them to play for United? We don't have that aura anymore. Yeah, things have changed. I guess it's considered tapping up these days, though, to some degree. You know, if you think about it, like there's a famous story of Giggsy when he was like, was it 15 or something? And also Beckham as well. Yeah, Beckham as well, with Fergie going to see the family and trying to convince them to sign, all that sort of stuff. You're absolutely right. I don't think it doesn't happen these days, definitely not to the same degree. But, you know, with Amorim having that relationship with Gyokeres, you could see that sort of thing going down. A little phone call here, a little FaceTime there, you know, some assurances made, some some shows of ambition in terms of the transfer window. So that's the sort of thing that could maybe get Gyokeres to come, as well as just like who we sign. If we have a very positive next couple of weeks, obviously get some big deals done. It looks like we're already doing that, but that's going to convince him to come. Big up there, Keanu. Steve, how you doing? You absolute legend. Appreciate you. Yep, loving the new signings, but it's here we go for outgoing players. I'm hopeful to hear soon. Yes, very true. That will give us more flexibility in the window to be able to bring in players also. We do need an arsehole like Emmy. We do. We need a shithouse. We need a shot-stopping shithouse, lad. Totally agree with you. Kay and Joey, thank you so much for the super chat, lad. Get some big love in there for him. He's just sent us a thumbs up. Thank you, Kay and Joey, for the super sticker there, you legend. Get some love in there for Kay and Joey. Thank you very much. And do as he says there and give this video a like. We're nearly at 200. Nice one. Right, let's just cover the bits and bobs of news we've got. Then we're going to get into the chat as well. But, few different... Oh, yeah, just in case you didn't know, actually, Manchester United's fixtures upcoming. So we're actually back in action, in just over a month, which is very exciting for the new signings, potentially to see them, to see them play. Especially if we could get Gyokeres in there, right? Because Gyokeres is Swedish friend. And the game against Leeds is in Stockholm, Sweden, isn't it? So... doesn't really mean anything at all. Just said it'd be nice for Viktor Gyokeres if he was playing in that game in Stockholm, Sweden. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Manchester United pre-season schedule. This is it. Obviously, we've got Leeds, West Ham in New Jersey, Bournemouth in Chicago, Everton in Atlanta, and Fiorentina in Manchester. So we'll be seeing David De Gea back again as well. Pretty cool. It's a shame that we don't have him in between the sticks for us, but we'll be seeing David De Gea again when we play Fiorentina. Pretty cool. And then obviously we've got those few fixtures there in the USA, and Leeds in Stockholm, friend. So yeah, just thought in case you didn't know, I'll just put that up on the screen. But the reason I'm putting this on the screen is because I'm very excited in a month's time to see the likes of Matheus Cunha, potentially Gyokeres if we're lucky, and Mbeumo and whoever else we sign playing in these preseason games. And we do need to get them involved in these preseason games. You look at last summer's preparations, they were crap. You've got to be swifter and move in the summer transfer window early doors to get them in before this, so that when the squad comes together on that first day, hello, Sailor. No, when that squad comes together back from their summer break and they're back at training for the first day and everything, everybody's there, everybody's ready to learn, everybody's ready to put in the hard work and prepare for the season and play in all of these games. And then that's it. You've got 5 games before the Premier League season. That's what it's about, guys. You've got to try and get this system working. You've got to try and bed in the new signings, get an understanding between the players of what their roles are. It's very important, that kind of thing. You've got to work on things. You can't just go into a season blind. Like a striker needs to be able to find that understanding with the winger, for instance, and say, hey, look, I want the ball delivered near post because I like cutting across the defender and stuff like that. Just little nuances that you don't really think about. These players have to get an understanding, or whatever Amorim wants them to do. They have to get an understanding of what's going on. So it's key that we get all of these signings in before then. Hopefully we can do that. Smash a 1 if you think we will do that. Smash a 1 if you think we'll get all of our signings done by the 18th of July. Not all of them, but all of these main signings we're talking about. Smash a 1. I'm going to smash a 1 in there, mate. I'm going to smash a 1 in there. I think we will get these 4 players that we've discussed today over the line before then. Gyokeres perhaps is a question mark. Obviously, I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I'm still trying to remain optimistic. But I actually believe that, yes, we'll get them in before then. We'll actually have a decent preseason this time. We give Amorim all the tools that he needs to do the job. I'd also hope that we'd see a few of the players we talked about selling going out before then as well, so they're not around the dressing room. They don't have to come back to preseason training. They can just do one to their new clubs. That's what I'm looking for, really. So, yeah, I'm feeling positive there. The 19th of July, guys, that's when the real hard work begins. Obviously, well before then, because Manchester United will regroup before then. But certainly, this is when the hard work has to start. Piggy doing Swedish accent, so Steve McLaren. I come from Sweden. Oh, yeah, do us a favour and sign Viktor Gyokeres. I don't know that. No, sorry. Matthias says, give Anthony time. It's a hard accent, the Swedish accent. Do you know what I mean? I can do Zlatan, but he doesn't really sound Swedish. He sounds more like Khabib Nurmagomedov. My name is Zlatan. I come from Sweden. Zlatan does what Zlatan wants. Zlatan will play for any team that Zlatan sees fit. If Zlatan wants to turn up in Manchester and say to Ruben Amorim, give me a role playing striker, Ruben will have to do this because Zlatan does what he wants. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is greatest Swedish striker of all time. Henrik Larsson cannot tie my shoelaces. Anyway, yes, there we go. Nice one, G-Wolf. Let's go, DJ. DJ says no, we won't get him done by then. Aaron says yes. Lots of people saying yes. I feel positive about it, guys. We seem to be doing bits this particular window so far. Thank you very much, Alex Moore, you legend. Right, have I got anything else to discuss here? Not really. If you're just joining, I'll do a quick rundown. So, a few updates in regards to the advanced discussions taking place between Man United and Brentford. There are some reports they're just trying to squeeze an extra couple of mil out of us, basically, but there's been positive talks taking place. It's expected there'll be an agreement reached very, very soon, and this report says United remain in advanced discussions over in Mbeumo. Productive talks took place on Friday evening, with the club confident they're edging closer to matching Brentford's valuation. The feeling is that the agreement is not far away from being reached. We know that obviously he reached an agreement with Manchester United in terms of his personal terms and stuff like that. We don't know exactly what they are. I'm sure less than 200,000-ish though. Also, Gyokeres at the moment. Update on Gyokeres. He's assessing his options. Nothing to do with UCL football. That's not an issue for Gyokeres, apparently, but he's still assessing his options as per Fabrizio Romano. United have a real opportunity to move for him. He's one of number one target. He's a number one target. Would need to sell a minimum of 2 players. But there's another report here from Court Offside that just says that United are now in pole position to sign Viktor Gyokeres. £60 million could get the deal done, and United have made the funds available as Arsenal focus on Benjamin Sesko. So it's great that Arteta's focusing on that B-Tech melter over there, Benjamin Sesko, who is a good player, by the way. Don't get me wrong, he is a good player. But I prefer Gyokeres. I'm glad that they're going for Sesko and not Gyokeres, although maybe they will if they can't get this Sesko deal over the line, which is a concern. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that Arsenal can convince Sesko to go and that that deal is going to get done. So therefore, it just increases the likelihood massively that United could sign Viktor Gyokeres. And it seems we've got the funds available right now, which you would make available if you had any ambition whatsoever, because you know you're going to be able to sell players later, like Anthony Højlund and any of these messes that we've still got at the football club. So you'll be able to sell them sometime in this transfer window and recoup some of that cash. So yes, if the opportunity's there right now to sign Gyokeres, do it. Pounce. Let's go. So hopefully we're going to see something on that in the next, I don't know, few days. But in my opinion, it probably won't happen until obviously the second part of the summer transfer window's open. It's a bit of a funny year this year. So the Club World Cup and all that. There's like a mini window before and a mini window after. Well, not a mini window after, like a proper window after. But yes, there's a little break. I don't know if that's going to mean that negotiations are halted. Probably not. They're all going to continue, aren't they, as normal? But it just means you can't actually sign him until then. So Gyokeres, we could be in pole position to sign him, which is great news for us, obviously. At the moment, Arsenal turning their attentions elsewhere. Nobody else really has gone in for a proper offer or any feeling out situation with Gyokeres. It seems he is only being linked properly to Manchester United right now. So we're in the driving seat by all these reports, but again, take it with a pinch of salt because things can change very quickly. Look what happened with Liam Delap. Teams can put in an offer at any time and maybe convince him. So I'm a little bit concerned. But that's the latest on Gyokeres as well, guys. Get in there. Right, I'm going to just shout out everyone who's given us a repost at the top of the chat there. Thank you, every one of you legends, for giving us a repost on X. It helps spread the word of the show there and helps get it out there. So let me just have a quick look at the top here, guys. Links at the top of the live chat. Give us a follow on X as well. Thank you to the 11 reposters here. We have had Ben Thornton, Tom T, Jumbo Cat, Paul Nangle, John James Power, Javier, Kane, G-Wolf, Sanjay, Kieran and Aaron Homeyard. Give us a share around. Thank you so much, guys. Just going to check for a couple of latest updates that might have come out while we're live. Let's just check the big boys here, the Diamond Dogs of football journalism. Let's just check them out. Nothing from Fab, just in regards to Tottenham advancing well on Thomas Frank appointment as new head coach. Yeah, we discussed that a bit earlier on. Looks like Thomas Frank is going to be taking over the role at Spurs there with Big Ange obviously sacked, mate. Struth, mate. Little bit harsh, mate. I just won the first trophy for 17 years, bro. Bloody hell, bit harsh. Let's have a look at Ornstein's updates. Nothing there, no. Okay, so nothing yet, guys, in terms of concrete movements with Man United and Brentford here. No announcements of an agreement in place. United still in that dialogue there with Brentford, trying to thrash out a deal today. But I think it will be today, guys. I think it will be today. We've got to move on it quite quickly. This needs to be done and agreed before the 9th, basically, which is only a couple of days' time. They don't want to fanny around and draw this out. Your Zlatan sounds like Niko Belovic from GTA. Oh, come on, that's what I like to hear. Who doesn't like a little bit of GTA, lad? Mr. Flying GTA 4, right? Mr. Flying Pig, if we get Gyokeres, do you think we can challenge next season? Challenge is an interesting word. Challenge for top 4, maybe. Even that would be very wishful thinking, because things are going to have to really go our way. But it could. And if we got Gyokeres and Mbeumo, Cunha, a top goalkeeper, maybe 1 or 2 little surprise packages as well, I would start to think that we could do that. Why not? Also, we don't have Europe. That helps us in a lot of ways, especially in the league. So, actually, to answer your question, yes, mate. I do think we could do that, Siggy. I do think we could do that. Right, let's get stuck into the chat here then. Luca Main, what's happening, you legend? How you doing? Cristiano Ronaldo not playing the Club World Cup? Yeah, that's right. He's not playing in it, mate. I know he's announced that he's taking a bit of chill time. I think it's right. He's 40 years of age, end of the day. He needs a break at some point, doesn't he, this guy? Mr. Vol says the Sun just posted something about Gyokeres. Oh, nice one, Mr. Wolf. Nice one. I have to print that off and then use it as shitter paper, lad. Come on, we don't use the Sun as a source around here, my son. Good morning. What's going on there, Luke CX? Thank you so much for getting in. How you doing from New York City? Yes, Brentford bent over and ransacked Raw. So they're also potentially going to be losing out on Visser as well. Smash a 1 if you'd have Visser as an option at Man United's forward position as well. Visser, apparently not a huge amount of money. I saw a post the other day that said that there was an initial offer going in. I forget who it was from now, but for like 20 million quid. I reckon Visser's a good player as well. We could probably pinch, no joke. I know we don't want to just become Brentford's, like Brentford's A team, but Brentford could be our feeder club, Need another Forza stream? That will come, lad. That will come. Yeah, got to give Virgil van Dijk and Udogie a chat. Bring them to United. They ain't happy with the decision. Oh, sorry, not Virgil van Dijk. Van der Ven. Yeah. That's a great shout, mate. Van der Ven would be a fantastic signing, I think. That's a great shout. Udogie, interesting. Nice one. I wonder if there will be any players going out. I've always said I think that now Son Heung-min has finally won a trophy, he should go. I'm not saying he should go to Manchester United, because that's obviously very much a struggle and that he's not going to come to us and they're not going to let him go to us. But if I was Son Heung-min, this is the time where I go and reunite with Harry Kane at Bayern, or go and play for one of those sort of elite clubs. Because as of right now, Spurs are probably not going to win anything else for another 17 years. Let's be real. And then it'll probably be some Mickey Mouse shite. That's just Spurs for you. They've gone against the grain this season by actually winning a trophy. And it was only because Manchester United were so shite that they were able to do that. Any normal Manchester United side would have done up that Maltese Spurs team. But because we're even shiter, that's how they were able to win it, Fending off the Giants, Bodo Glimt in the semi-finals, and then beating the worst Manchester United side ever. So, yeah, let's face it, they're probably not going to win a trophy for another while. Son Heung-min should definitely go. You had Visser in the FPL, oh, nice. You'd have him, you would not have him. You'd have Visser, you would not, you'd have him. Fair enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying as the number one, I'm saying as well as like Gyokeres. And also, there's that understanding there with the likes of Mbeumo, so we could definitely do a lot worse. Jimmy White getting in it, the whirlwind from London town. Smash the like, I love it, mate. Love from Vietnam. Thank you so much getting in here there, Jimmy. We love you, Jimmy. Yes, Old Trafford Leisure Centre 2.0. Steady on now, steady on. Gyokeres feels too right to think of others. Fair enough there, Solidiquim. I know what you're saying. I'm not saying instead of Gyokeres. I'm saying as well as. Get the Brighton keeper underrated and cheap. No news on outgoings. Okay, let me give you the news on outgoings. It's just really the sort of the same situation as yesterday, so I don't want to bore you. But Marcus Rashford still expected to be wanted by Barcelona. We haven't seen any more movement or talks about that just yet. Rasmus Højlund reportedly wanted by Inter Milan and maybe a couple of other clubs in Serie A as well. United would prefer a sale. Apparently Inter want a loan with maybe an option to buy. That doesn't really work for us. Makes more sense, in my opinion, to sell him. Anthony Dos Santos is expected to be in talks this summer with a couple of different clubs. The first one being Real Betis. His agents are travelling over there this week. to have talks with Batiste about maybe him going back there because he had a very successful time when he was there for a few months. Did well, scored goals, found his smile again, and got himself back into the Brazil setup with his performances. So you have to say that that is a realistic possibility. He seemed happy over there. And then obviously, you know, you've got Leverkusen with Erik ten Hag. That link's not going to go away this summer because they're selling Wirtz. They're getting 130 million euros or whatever it is. Going to have a huge transfer spend to try and improve. That means that they'll spend money on players, and obviously Erik ten Hag's already signed Antony twice, so he might be interested in Antony. He probably would be interested in the likes of Garnacho as well if Garnacho wanted to go, but I don't think Garnacho's going to go to Leverkusen personally. He wants to play for Real Madrid or one of those, you know, one of those elite clubs. You can just tell he's that sort of ego. You can just tell. So yeah, there's a few there, but there's nothing concrete, mate. And also, you know, other players like Onana, there's nothing on him at the moment, even though we surely got to be trying to sell him. But I think we've got to be patient with this. It will happen. We will sell a few players. The most important thing for us is to sign the players, is to strike and pounce on these signings when we can get them, like we've managed to do with Cunha and Mbeumo. And if we can do it with Gyokeres too, then, you know, we're really going to have a basis for a good season. Yep, hopefully we sign Gyokeres, absolutely. Are we still in for Wesley Sneijder? Oh, Brentford be the one that Leeds and Burnley need to target, staying above, expand the squad. Yeah, I mean, you know, actually, if anything, I think we need a slightly tighter squad this season. And I think we do need to get rid of a few players. Like, for instance, we need to replace certain players that go. But like Eriksson, Lindelof, and Johnny Evans, those guys are gone. I don't really think we need to replace them, really. It's not going to hurt us having a few less players in the squad. I don't think, because we have a less 20 games less potentially to play this season with no European football. Thank you, Damon. He says, love the channel. Thank you, Damon, you legend. Love the stream. Smash the like button. Thank you, Arne. I appreciate that. How many are we on now? Thank you very much, everybody who's hit the likes. It does help us out. Nice. We've got to 238, guys. Can we hit 300 likes on the stream? Mastered that name, pig. Nice job. Thank you. Yeah, finally, mate. What is Son still doing at Spurs? Should have won trophies maybe in Italy or Spain by now. Spot on. He's got to go. He's got to go. Somebody tell him that Spurs is a gash club, please. He's so like happy there. Fair play to him. He's loyal. Fair play. You don't get a lot of that in football these days. I respect that. He stayed there even though they've been shite. But for his own personal benefit, he should go somewhere else. For a start, he can get way more money. He's a global star, Son. Everybody likes Son. He's like one of the most likeable players around, isn't he? Everybody likes Son. Not just as a player, but as a personality. He's like very well liked around the world. Surely there'd be a big offer from a big club who would see it as a massive like marquee signing, PR move. Plus, he does the business on the pitch. Yes, he's getting on a bit now, but even more so reason to get him now. In talking about a global megastar, especially in his native South Korea. So I think there's got to be someone interested in Son. If they're not, they're crazy. And if he doesn't want to go, he's crazy. You know, somebody please tell him Spurs are gash. He's so loyal. He actually said the other day, he's like, now I'm a Spurs legend. He literally said, now I'm a Spurs legend. All right. Nice one, mate. You're up there with Roman Pavlyuchenko and, you know... No, he's a great player, Son. He's absolutely a great player. But come on now. Minoda says, hi, Pigster, what are you thinking of LFC signings? I'm thinking they're very good, you know. I think you're paying a lot of money for Wirtz, but I've got to say, I think you're going to have a very good season again because you've signed well so far. It's looking like you're doing really well, isn't it? Obviously, Frimpong is a great player to sign for 35 million euros, was it? Or pounds, either way, very cheap. And great replacement for the outgoing Trent. Big up the Saigon crew, absolutely. Big up the Vietnam legends watching and anybody else around the world. Will the likes of Rashford and Sancho sell easily? No, not really, Hayden. You know, that's the problem, really. I think Højlund and Antony will sell easily, but I'm not so sure about Rashford. His wages are 350 grand a week. It's going to be difficult to find a club that will cover it and find a club that he wants to go to also. And Sancho, same sort of thing. We had that arrangement with Chelsea. They could have taken him, couldn't they? They could have made it a permanent move by paying 25 million, but they'd have had to have paid him like £300,000 a week. And obviously they just weren't prepared to do that because there's no value in the deal, even when the initial transfer fees only 25 million for a 25-year-old homegrown talent like that. It sounds not a bad deal for them, but it's not a good enough deal because of his wages. They're problematic. You're talking about him being on close to like 14 million a year or something. It's problematic. So he's very difficult to sell. The most likely outcome for Sancho is that he gets loaned out this summer and that maybe whoever he goes to covers 70% of his wages if we're lucky, but probably not. So that's probably what's going to happen there with Sancho. I could see another loan move. And Rashford, I think Rashford's going to end up going, but it is not going to be an easy one because there is, I think, quite an issue with his wages there. It is 10 years on since Leicester did the impossible. Yeah, man, that's crazy, isn't it? Well, if Leicester could do it at 5,000 to 1, who's to say United couldn't mount a serious push? And I mean it, guys. I bloody well mean it, guys. If we sign well, if we get these players in there, who's to say that Amorim can't do really well for us this season? The team starts cooking. We start the season well, get 5 wins on the bounce. Next thing you know, we're challenging for the freaking title, my son. Believe! Come on. Luke CX, thank you so much, Luke CX, for the super chat, mate. Let's get some love in there for Luke CX. Come on. One of the Patreon legends as well. I added the new patrons to the outro and intro, by the way, folks, so you'll see that. Luke CX, lad, thank you so much for your comment. He says, exciting times for Man United fans. How does all this activity make you feel? Is it making up for last season? Nothing will make up for last season, boss. No, definitely not. You know, Joel Glazer, Avram Glazer, these guys, they could come round personally to my house. They could install a solid gold toilet in my downstairs toilet there. A solid gold toilet. Personally, they could hand install it. And that still wouldn't make up for anything for me, mate, for last season. Do you know what I mean? These guys have had an absolute stinker at Manchester United running the club. And obviously, the way that the football club has performed in the last year is the worst we've ever seen. Well, not ever, but it's the worst we've seen in the Premier League era, most certainly. So, no, nothing would make up for that. But if we had a good season this season, that could make up for it, couldn't it? So the activity this summer doesn't make up for it. The signings doesn't make up for it. It gives us positivity. It gives us something to be happy about with the hope. It gives us hope that we can maybe go on and have a good season. When you sign really good players, and by all accounts, you know, these players we're signing are very good players that I think are going to really help the team. And if we get them in there, we can have a positive season. But it doesn't really change that much right now. We have to put it into practice. The proof needs to be in the pudding on the pitch, lad. You know, so Man United need to have a good season this season. We need to justify spending and signing these players. We can't just keep signing players and then not playing well. We actually have to see some improvements. So very, very keen on seeing these players come in, and I think it will really help us. But also, you know, I don't think we should be really thinking about too many miracles right now. But dare to dream. Hang on a second. Avram Glazer. What? This Avram Glazer. When are you coming round to install the toilet, lad? Eh? When are you coming round, mate? Avram Glazer says, hi, Meltbag. Did you have to mention my name? Well, you know, stop being a shithouse, lad. And come round and install the toilet in my shithouse, please. and then maybe you'll be on the way to being forgiven. Nah, to be fair, these guys will never be on the way to being forgiven. Honestly, I see them. I see you, Avram. I see these guys like the devil. And not in a good way. Not like the red devil on our badge, but like the devil. Evil. That's what I see. Just all about the money. You know, not truly about trying to make this football club as great as it could possibly be. That's why I don't like them. I just think they're just absolute wrong-uns. They're just clearly just money-grabbing businessmen, and I hate that. I hate that their clutches have been around Manchester United for, 18 years or whatever it is now. I hate that. It's a disgrace, really, man. They've really done the number on us. We are 15th in the league because of them. That's it. Thank you so much, Lewis Winthorpe. Thank you so much, bud. Appreciate that, you legend. Yep, can't have a good season if Onana's your keeper. Right, let's check how many subscribers we're on, guys. We're getting up there. Oh, shit, we're only 3 away from 90,300 now, guys. Is there 3 more of you legends out there who are not subscribed? Click the red subscribe button down below. Help us get to 90,300. We're so close. We're creeping up there, my friends. We're covering all the transfer news this summer, so get yourself involved. Click the bell icon for notifications. Downstairs toilet, you snob piggy. Well, you know, it's nice to have a downstairs shitter, isn't it, lad? The Golden Dunny. Which loss hurt the most last season? Well, for me, personally, it has to be the Europa League final. Even though there were some absolutely humiliating losses in other games, just the fact that we lost to Spurs, the Spursiest of teams, in the final and missed out on Champions League football and all that, it's got to be that one for me. That was the most painful, lad. Hansy said, if you sign all these players, I'm changing teams just because of Piggy being so cool. Nice one, Hansy. Appreciate you. Bog installer Avram. Dr. Robotnik himself in the chat, absolutely. Dr. Eggman. You tell Avram... I hate how they changed Dr. Robotnik to Dr. Eggman. What was wrong with Dr. Robotnik? Anyway, yeah, you tell Avram Piggy he should have bigger things to cook rather than coming in here to stir. Poor grumpy Avram. Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be a funny twist if that actually was Avram Glazer? Do you know what I mean? He just sat in his ivory tower there, just typing away. You know what I mean? There you go, DJ. Thank you, Solid Queen. Well, I'll help you with all my accounts flying. Nice one, lad. Pig deserves 1 million subs. Best football YouTuber by far. Oh, bless you, Arn. Thank you so much. Very kind of you to say. You're too kind. You're too kind. Right, okay, I'll just have a quick look again, see if there's anything that's popped in during the live stream, then we'll read a few more comments, then we'll probably wrap this up. I am back on here this afternoon, though, for the England game, so please do come and join us for that. I don't know if any of the mods are still here. Maybe one of you could put a little cheeky little link to the watch-along in there. That'd be amazing. If not, I'll do that in a minute, but let me just check Fabrizio Romano very quick, make sure I've not missed anything. What's this? Oh, no, there's nothing to do with us. Yeah, no, nothing new from Fab in regards to us then. Let's have a look at this lad here. Nope, nothing new there. Yeah, okay, nothing new there, guys. But in regards to updates, we'll, of course, keep you updated with what's going on. And as a bare minimum, we'll be on here tonight at 10 o'clock, even if there isn't any news, just to sort of discuss the latest goings on. Hey, TCG Hub, lad, are you still there, mate? Sorry, I missed that. You getting ready for your first shift, mate? Good luck to you, my son. I hope it goes really well to your TCG Hub, you legend. Thank you so, so much. Okay, no updates. Let's read a few more comments out then, guys. Thank you, Joseph Roldan, for subscribing. Yes, mate. Thank you very much for hitting the subscribe there, Joseph. You know it makes sense. And we did it. We're on 90,000.3. Everyone, thank you very much for hitting the subscribe button and getting yourself in there. Piggy, you legend. Nice to share your lovely humour, brother. Much love to you. Thank you, Man United Greek fan. Anybody else getting a little bit tingly from the too much positivity going around here? What a community, that's all I'm saying. Thank you for all the positive vibes, everyone. You're too nice. You're too nice. What a lovely community. Where's the toxicity on YouTube, guys? Where is it? Not here. Not here, you know. Don't know how to do it, Piggy, says Daz Salford. Yeah, you know it, Clem Fandango. England game snooze fest. It is going to be shite, isn't it? Long live Mech Warrior. Yeah, that's going to be rubbish, mate. But we are playing Andorra, and so we should batter them. You know, so there should be goals. What time's the game? It's at 5 p.m. kickoff. We'll be getting going about, 4:40 p.m., 4:30 maybe. So come and join us for that. Thank you, Man United Greek fan, legend. You're watching the England game, although I'm Welsh, and we had a good win last night. Go on, Wales, lad. Get in there, my son. Getting in here from the valleys, boyo. Love that. Heed, thank you very much. Solid Queen, yeah, get in there. William Reedy, let's go. You won't watch the England guff, but I'll be here in the chat. Legend, legend, legend. I respect that. Let's face it. The England game is just going to be shite. Plus, we don't even have... correct me if I'm wrong. Do we even have any Man United players playing in it? Like, I was looking at the squad. I don't think Mainoo's in the squad. Rashford's not in the squad, even though he's not really a Man United player. But, he is a Man United player. Maguire's not in the squad. Who else? I don't even know if we got any United players in the squad, guys. I don't think. Nice one, Silla Queen. Nice one, Bobby. Nice one, Winnie. Isn't it a sad day? It is a sad day when United don't have really any representations in the England squad. It's a sad, sad old day. Because if you go back to, like, the 90s, when Man United were awesome, a lot of the squad was made up of Man United players. You would have Beckham and Scholesy, Andy Cole, freaking Sheringham, and Rio, and, Gary Neville, and the list goes on and on. There was a bunch, Nicky Butt, there was a bunch. But now, it's like, most of the players are not from Man United, are they? They're mostly from, like, Liverpool or Arsenal or whatever. It's pretty gash. The state of what's happened at Man United is pretty gash. Like, we should have a big representation in the England squad, but that's a big indicator of where Man United's at right now. It's crap. We don't have enough good sort of homegrown players anymore. We need to bring more through, don't we? Thank you so much, Hansy. I appreciate that. Exactly, bizarre pudding, yeah. Oh, anyway. There it is, G-Wolf. Thank you so much, mate, for putting that in there. Yes, lad. If you could put like a little thing that says England watch along and then the link, that'd be banging. Actually, don't worry, I'll just do it there, mate. I've got the link there. Thank you so much, G-Wolf, for giving me the link, though. All right, England watch along. England watch along here, guys. We're going to be on there. Here is the link to the England watch along, guys. Please do get involved and come and join us for the game. 5 p.m. kickoff. You're watching the Munster hurling final. Go on, William. Nice one, John D. Iconic. Yeah, if we have a good start, I'll start to believe we can do a lot of good stuff. No worries, soliloquy, lad. Get Piggy in the United Board Club sorted in a week. Your Australia scored a great 1-0 win over Japan. That's a great win, yeah. Where is Maguire? Yeah, not too sure, you know. Wait, Maguire's not in the squad. He's been very good this season. I don't think he's in the squad, mate. No, honestly. I think he's gone with, like, you know, like Burn, Gahey, Concert, people like that. But I don't think Maguire's in it. I could be wrong. I only had a quick look at it. But anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up this stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We've got 268 likes. Keep hitting the thumbs ups. Help us get to 300. Make sure you subscribe. Click the bell icon for notification. All the links in the description are there for social media. If you want to give us a follow on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Give us a cheeky little follow over there, guys. Nice one. So there's the latest updates for you. It's close with Mbeumo. Gyokeres is apparently still open to joining us, but he's assessing options. And Manchester United are in the pole position, if you believe reports, to bring in Gyokeres at the moment. Legends. Nice one, John Boyd. Luke CX, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who's got in here. All the moderators like G Wolf and Daz Salford and everyone. All the members like William, Heed, G Wolf, Jamie, John. Everybody, Luke CX, all the legends, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. That's it for this Lunchtime Live. We'll be back every lunchtime this summer, covering all the day's news in regards to United. And, of course, we'll be back on at 10 p.m. for the Transfer News Show as well. But check this out. Here is the link, once again, in the live chat there to the England watch-along. See you in about, 2.5 hours for the England game. Come on, England. All right, guys, catch you in a bit. Piggy loves you, and remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/flyingpigunited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/flyingpigunited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel.